I feel like there are a few green flags that signify that a person is an experienced gym goer, and by these green flags you can basically tell that a person knows what is it that he's doing within the gym. And the first green flag for me, and maybe the least relevant but still a green flag, is when a person knows when is it that he should wipe down the equipment. Because I don't think you should always wipe down all the equipment that you use within the gym, because it's a gym. It's still going to be dirty. So I don't think you always need to wipe down everything, but there are two cases when you actually should wipe down the equipment. And the first and the most obvious case is when you make the equipment wet. You always should wipe down the equipment afterwards if you make the equipment wet. And then the next case when you should wipe down the equipment is when there is a person waiting for you to finish and he is going to be using the equipment straight after you. So it's always a good thing to walk up to this person and ask them, would you like me to wipe down the equipment? And some people are going to say yes, and then it is a good, decent thing to do to actually wipe down the equipment and to be nice. And some people are going to say no. So for example, like me, I don't really care if the equipment has been used previously as long as it's not wet. So then you don't need to wipe it down, but at least you were a good, decent human being and you asked. So that is the first green flag for me when it comes to gym goers. Then the next green flag is when people re-rack their weights. And people sometimes don't, and that can be connected to a few different reasons. Some people are just not experienced when it comes to going to the gym, and they get confused, they maybe get a little bit shy, they forget things. So sometimes people wouldn't re-rack their weights because of this. But then there are also people that are just like assholes and they don't really care about organizing things around them and they just leave a mess. And both of these reasons are not ideal reasons to not re-rack the weights, but whenever I see a person that actually does re-rack everything, that's kind of like a good green flag for me, because that means he cares about the people around them and that he cares about like the gym etiquette in general. Then the next green flag for me is when a person is very efficient with his training routine and he doesn't really just sit on the equipment on their phone for like extended periods of time, but he actually knows where everything is and he's actually moving forward quite quickly. So that for me signifies two things. First thing, that he has just been training within this specific gym for a while because he knows where everything is located in. But also for me, it kind of signifies that a person just generally been training for a while and that he already has a good strict routine and he knows what is it that he should be doing. Because whenever you see like a person just like sitting on the equipment for very long periods of time, sitting on their phone, not really training properly, it's just annoying. They're just occupying the equipment, wasting everyone's time. And that for me is kind of like a red flag and signifies that a person is just lazy. He's just going to the gym just to go to the gym, and he doesn't really have a good strict routine, and he's just basically kind of like, I would even say faking it, just like wasting his and everyone else's time while he's at the gym. So yeah, like whenever a person is like very efficient and is moving forward and is not wasting time, that is also a green flag for me. And the biggest and the most obvious green flag for me when it comes to gym goers is when a person is consistent and able to stick to a routine. So whenever I change gyms or go to a different gym, I would normally try to stay within that gym for like extended periods of time. And I have changed a few gyms during my training time because mostly I've just been moving from a country to a country, so sometimes I just need to change the gyms. But then whenever I do find a facility that I actually enjoy and I know that I'm going to be living within the area for a while, I would normally stay there for a couple of years. And I always notice these people that are always at the gym during the same exact days at the same exact time. And I would mostly notice this because our routines overlap and I would see them in the same exact spot doing the same exact thing every single day. And that always for me is kind of like the biggest green flag, because it signifies that a person is always going to be going to the gym at the same days and basically sticking to his routine, and that he has a routine that he has developed. And then also because our routines would overlap, I would sometimes talk to these people, and it always mostly turns out that this person also knows what is it that he's doing, that he can give you decent advice, and that he has actually spent quite a lot of time within the gym. So yeah, those are kind of like the green flags that I have mostly noticed when it comes to gym goers, and that's kind of how I normally am able to tell that a person has actually invested time into this and that a person actually knows what is it that he's doing and that he's a experienced gym goer. What do you guys think? What are the green flags that you have noticed? Maybe they are a little bit different from the ones that I have, because I feel like also it is going to be somewhat of a subjective thing. I don't think you can make like a very objective list when it comes to green flags, because different people are going to notice different things. But those would be the things that I would normally notice, and that's kind of like how I tell if a person is experienced or not. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what is it that I'm up to. So today I decided that I'm going to increase my calories a little bit. I'm still going to be cutting and I'm still going to be losing weight. It's just I increased the calories a little bit because the diet was becoming a little bit too aggressive and I was becoming a little bit too obsessive when it comes to food. And a very obvious red flag for me was the fact that during the last cheat day, I ended up having 3 cheat days in a row, which is not great, and that is never the goal. The goal is always to have 1 cheat day and then go straight back to dieting. But then when you can't stop and when you end up having 3 in a row, that is never a good thing. So hopefully this way I'm going to be able to maintain the diet for a little bit longer, because I am planning to be on a cut for like a month more, maybe a little bit more than that. And then I am going to be going to maintenance calories, and then I am going to be trying to do a little recomp where I basically try to gain a little bit of mass without gaining too much fat, maybe improve my physique a little bit. So yeah, that is basically the plan for the next couple of months. On top of that, the gym performance has actually been good. So it's mostly the mental aspect of the diet that's been fucking with me. Because, for an example, today I had a day off. I went to the gym quite early and I actually had great performance when it comes to me, like purely lifting weights. It's just like me constantly being hungry and me constantly obsessing over food, which is not great. But yeah, other than that, it's actually been quite good, surprisingly good actually. I'm even surprised that I'm doing that well at the gym. So yeah, that is going to be the plan going forward. I guess nothing more else to say that I wanted to talk about. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.